Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And today we're coming at you with a special bonus episode, a little bit outside of our normal format, where we're going to talk about our top 5 whiskeys from the state of Tennessee.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
This is normally where we would intro our topic and then get into a first sip where we try something totally blind, but this isn't our regular format. We're coming at you guys with a bonus episode today, thanks to Phil and Julie over at the Bourbon Van. They came up with this idea for a bunch of channels from a bunch of different states to do their top 5 favorite whiskeys from their own state. And us being here in Nashville, Tennessee, we've got maybe less to choose from than you might think. But we're going to get into it right now with our first choice. You can't have a video about Tennessee whiskey without having some Jack Daniels in the mix.
True story.
You knew it was coming. So,
We thought we'd get it out of the way first.
yeah, knock it out right out of the way. We have 2 of our favorite things here, and I think everybody knows how special these special release variations are from Jack Daniels by now, but they just keep on getting better and better, it feels like.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited to see what's coming down the pipeline from them. The barrel proof rye, you're the rye guy.
I'm the rye guy.
You really like that.
I
do as well. And Coy Hill, we got half a bottle of this.
Also really good.
Amazing. But we even like the regular old Jack Daniels number 7. That goes way back for us going to Nashville Sounds games and getting, Jack and Cokes and frozen Jack and Cokes.
Yeah.
I don't think they call it that anymore.
They can't.
There's some
It's
naming
bourbon.
rights
It's like
issues.
bourbon and Coke.
Yeah.
Frozen bourbon and Cokes now. They can't say Jack and Cokes anymore.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't pay for the licensing. They're a small baseball team, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, we love Jack Daniels. In particular, anything in this bottle shape. Everything from the single barrel selects, that 94 proof, all the way up to the special releases, and the barrel proof is in particular our favorite. Although we're out of our bottle right now, we have to replace it because we drank it all. Our second choice, in no particular order, is Belle Meade bourbon. This is the Belle Meade Reserve, and this was actually before they switched over to the now standardized 108 proof version. This is a cask strength version, which we really wish was still available.
Is this the one that I said tasted like a rocking chair from the Cracker Barrel?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a common thing for you
so
in this
good.
bottle. But we're milking our last little bit
Yeah.
of it. But even the 108 proof regular reserve now is really good. They also do a really good job of finishing. If you ever get a chance to get any of their finished whiskeys, they do a really good job with that. Not too heavy-handed and overly sweet like a lot of finished whiskeys can be. And if you're here in town, drop by. You might be able to pick up something really cool in the gift shop. That's a little inside info for you because that's where they release some special releases from time to time. But to get the elephant out of the room, this is sourced MGP. From Indiana, so it's not their own distillate. But what we're doing here on our list is we're doing a few true Tennessee distilleries, and then we're doing a couple of sourced whiskeys that are good alternatives to some of the hyped up kind of FOMO-inducing pours out there. So for instance, this is a $65 bottle of MGP, and people go nuts over things like Smoke Wagon and Weller Full Proof and Weller 107s and things like that. And we would rather have this over almost all of those. Like, this stuff is really, really good. So if you're looking for something to fight the FOMO, look no further than Belle Meade. Next up, we're going to travel down to Memphis, your old stomping grounds.
Yep, I used to live in Memphis.
And we're going to visit BR Distilling. Now, Blue Note, they don't do their own stuff. It's sourced whiskey, but they do it really well. And like we said, this is our second sourced that is like a good alternative to some of the other things out there. Not so much the FOMO inducing hyped up bottles in this case, but just the value is so high.
Yeah.
So this right here, this Blue Note store pick of the uncut, it is like $40 for 121 proof Kentucky bourbon. It's sourced from Barton, and you're getting it for $40, which is way less than you would pay for something like a full proof from 1792 themselves. It's a few proof points less. It is a little bit younger, but the value's really high. Same thing for the Crossroads here. The Blue Note Crossroads is a really, really good bottle. It's got French oak stave finishing. So things like Maker's Mark 46 or something like Woodford Reserve Double Oak, Old Forester 1910. This has kind of that vibe that you get from some of those types of pours. It's 100 proof. It's a little bit higher proof than something like a Woodford Reserve Double Oaked or a Maker's Mark 46. And the stave finishing that they put in there gives it this really dark flavor profile that's kind of more in the wheelhouse of like the Woodford Reserve Double Oak or the 1910 from Old Forester, which is why I mentioned those. But this right here is coming in at $40, whereas Woodford Reserve and 1910 are like 50 or 55 or more in our market. And this is readily available anywhere in the Nashville area or pretty much all of Tennessee. So if you're ever in the state and you don't get Blue Note where you're at, keep an eye out for this big value brand. We can't talk about Tennessee whiskey without talking about what Chattanooga is doing.
True.
Fantastic work, especially these barrel finishing series bottles. We just tried the Scotch that came out and it was wild. Like blindfolded, I would have thought it was a Scotch. It was so good. I would not have known it was Chattanooga distillate. This is the tawny port finish, which is our favorite of the barrel finishing series that we've ever had.
This is like a dessert bourbon.
Yeah.
Because it tastes kind of like a dessert. Like I got raspberry cheesecake one time. The last time we tried this, I got like a chocolatey note. It's very much like you want to have this, at least I want to have this after dinner.
Yeah. And these experimental series, or sorry, not the experimental series. If you're in Chattanooga, go to the distillery and you can try some of their experimental series stuff, which is wild and out there and really good. But these barrel finishing series, if you see them, I don't think any of them are misses. And the value's really high. They don't come out all the time. In particular, if they ever release this tawny port again and you can get your hands on it and you like a really sweet desserty bourbon, buy as many bottles as you can afford to buy because it's that good. Now we could include some other craft distilleries from Tennessee on here, and there are a lot of good ones. In the Nashville area, you've got Davison Reserve in particular is one of the big ones, and you can even see that if you're traveling through the Nashville airport, they have bottles in there. We particularly like the rye the most of all their offerings, but a lot of those craft distilleries that are here in the States, the price gets really high and we're big on value around here. Like if the value's not there, it's hard for us to just completely recommend it.
Our money on it.
Yeah. There's so many good like Davison Reserve, Leaper's Fork does really good work, but these are younger distilleries and they have to charge for what they're putting out, and it often leads to a little bit higher price tag. But Chattanooga has figured out how to make really good whiskey at a really good price. So they're absolutely worth checking out if you've never tried them before. The last thing on our list for our 5 favorites is going to be Nashville Barrel Company. With Jack Daniel's and Chattanooga, you get true Tennessee distillate. With Blue Note and with Belle Meade, you're getting sourced high value products that are really good quality. With Nashville Barrel Company, you're getting an experience. So if you come to the Nashville area, be sure to drop by their distillery, their showroom, their gift shop, their tasting bar, all those things. It's an awesome, awesome experience. Second to none as far as I'm concerned. We actually went and picked out this bottle.
Which one is that?
The rye for your birthday.
For my birthday.
So what we like to do is we like to go and pick out special bottles there because you can do flights of 3 different pours or, a few flights. We'll do a few flights. Yeah. We'll have a few different pours of bottles that are available in the gift shop that they also have open on their tasting bar. You get to have this great experience, especially if Meredith is leading it. She is awesome. She knows her stuff inside and out, but really everybody that works there is incredible. If you're asking for specific recommendations from us, these 5-year bourbons are really good. They also have some 7, 8-year bourbons there.
I tried some 8 years that were exceptional.
Yeah. I like the 5 years because they're a little spicier and a little sweeter.
Yeah.
You tend to like the little bit older bourbons where the sweetness is kind of tamped down a little bit. Yeah. And it's got a little bit more earthiness coming out of them.
I do.
This is all sourced MGP stuff. But then the ryes, especially like the 8 and 9 year ryes, are so good.
Yeah.
And these are all cask strength, straight out of the barrel, unfiltered, the whole 9 yards. And the value, you're looking at like $80 for about a 5-year bourbon pick. You're looking at closer to $100 for like a 8 or 9 year rye. maybe a little bit more than that depending, but with the experience that you're getting, it's incredible. They get really good barrels from MGP there. A lot of them are Kelvin cooperage barrels. And something about that, like I love letting people try these 5-year bourbons because it just blows them away because they drink so much older than what they really are. Like there's so much depth and richness and darkness in these bottles that they're really great. And as a bonus, if you're going there and doing a pick, just like this, Nashville Bourbon Social Club, a local bourbon group for us, did this pick, but you can put your own logo down there. So
really? I didn't even notice that.
To be,
cool.
Yeah. But you can do your logo or we can do our logo. So keep your eyes peeled for a potential Stuff and Whiskey Nashville Barrel Company
That'd be cool.
pick. The last thing I'll say about Nashville Barrel Company is the experience you're going to get there is, like I said, second to none if you're in the Nashville area. If you're not in the Nashville area, be sure to check them out on social media at Nashville Barrel Co. I think it is on all the platforms. But they do have shipping available through retailers, and there's only a few states that they can't deliver to. So if you want to get in on it, check them out, and you might be able to get them where you're at.
That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Be sure to give this a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. If you like what you see, if you don't subscribe.
That's fine. You don't have to.
But if you're big on high value, high quality pours, that's what we're all about around here, trying to discover that through blind tastings.
Yep.
You can also check out the video description below for a link to our Patreon community. If you'd like to get a little bit more interactive with the channel, plugged into our online community, do some blind flight nights with us. All kinds of fun stuff is going on over there. And you can even see a link to our Stuff and Whiskey store where we now have some merch.
We have a little bit of merch.
So you can check that out while you're down there as well. Thanks so much for watching. Cheers.
Cheers. I messed it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Lady.
I didn't mean to mess it up. But...
I felt it go doop.
I didn't mean to.
And then I heard it pop out. All right. We're not having anything to drink in this episode?
Yeah.
We're just talking about it?
Let's just talk about it.
Okay.
We're going to have plenty to drink tonight.
All right.